Indy James found it, yeah, several times. This is black basalt. This is what's indigenous to that area. And this is limestone. Notice it's a little bit different than what our limestone would be like. Our limestone, we could break this. You can't break this. But this is limestone. So there's basalt and limestone. You want to look at that? And this is a replica of Solomon's sword. I collect swords. And this is particular. It has the Star of David here. Here is the Ark of the Covenant here. This is Sennacherib on the outsides, which was the enemy of David. And here is the menorah there. And so this is the sword that you would fight with. This is a two-handed sword. If you want to hold it, I'll let you, and you can tell. This is not close-in combat type sword. This is not the sword of the Spirit from Ephesians chapter 6. I have it in there. I just didn't bring it out. But no, it's fine. I think I like it better right where it is. And so this, we know this is really close because of archaeological digs where we have actually found. There is a dig that's going on right now, and I can't find a lot of information about it yet, on the southern side of the Temple Mount toward the city of David that goes all the way up from from the Temple Mount all the way up to David's citadel. And so pull that up too. See if we can get that up. The David's tomb, King David's tomb. Just so you can see it. Now, well, why don't you find out?
Okay. But yeah, to swing this thing.
I mean, you think about swinging that for 10 to 12 hours.
You know, like in the movies,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way you could do that.
Well, you'd have to work out a lot. But yeah. Remember the in Kings it talks about from the coming up of the sun to going down. They were at battle, and his hand, they had to pry his hand off of it.
Watching a series on Marco Polo right now, and the Mongols were, their empire was huge,
Anybody else want to hold it?
but that sword fighting was the predominant.
Well, and that's a replica. The real ones were probably even heavier because
Probably a little heavier. Yeah.
they were made out of a different metal.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's why they worked out, not so they could go the Mr. America contest. They worked out so they could handle their sword. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, here you go.
I'm not that evil.
Yes. Got it? You're welcome. Now, this has to go back to my office after a while. Okay. I asked them to put up on the screen basically a lot more for Avi than you guys saw this last week. But this is a picture of David's tomb. Now, they say that the bones of David are in that. whatever they call those things, ossuary. Um, I wondered that. I think somebody asked that question when we were there, and the Israeli government won't allow anybody to.
Don't you think that maybe the answer to that is because it's not? You know, that's the
Oops. This is where we thought David's bones were, but they're not. Look,
They have to kill a bunch of people probably once the DNA test came back.
yeah, and I don't know. Okay. All right, now let's do just a little bit of more of this because I want to show you a couple other things, and then we'll be done. Dave, go to just type in Masada. 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 Huh. About this. What's the name of it? Okay, while you're right there, see this picture right here in this that right there? Pull that up, please. Because somebody was asking. Oh, this is some good pictures here, Dave. You did good. Actually, the one below it is better. Just go those two below. Actually, all three of those. Okay, just stay right there. We are. Now, remember the story of Masada. Everybody know the story of Masada? Masada was the southernmost palace for Herod. You know, in history, he's called Herod the Great. I call him Herod the Horrible. Herod was such a fat man that he could not. I saw it where it said snake path. We'll look at that in a second. Where he could not. He built this palace as his summer retreat, but he was so fat that he could not walk very far, and so his servants and slaves had to carry him, and they couldn't carry him up there, so he never saw the up there. He never got to see it. Now, if you go to Israel, you will get to go to Masada. Everybody gets to go to Masada unless they say, I'm not going up there. But remember that in 70, I think it's probably 73, 74 A.D., the last group of zealots, which were the Israelis that refused to give in to the Roman government, they assembled on Masada, and that was where they were going to have their last stand because they figured the Romans could never get to them. So the Romans came in from the back. These pictures that you're seeing are the back of Masada, and they started building a ramp, and it took months. But they would lay down gravel, and then they would lay down timbers. They would cross the timbers. They'd fill that in with gravel, and they kept doing that until they built a ramp to where they actually walked onto the top of Masada. So the night before that was to happen, the Israelites got together, the Zealots got together, and they said, I'd rather be a dead Jew than a live Roman slave. And so when the morning that the Romans stepped onto the top of Masada, ready to fight, they had all died. So this was the last stand. But there, y'all asked last week about the ramp. There's the ramp. That's what's left of the ramp. Pardon? They poison. I was thinking that they actually killed part while they were asleep, and the ones that were left drank poison. It's true. That's right. On that? Wow, that would be cool. Okay, give me some other pictures, not of the ramp. There's one up here above that said the snake path. Dave, so scroll up or down one and see it. There, see where it says snake path? Right there. Okay, here's the path. This picture down here, I'm trying to point with my finger, y'all. This is the top of Masada. And there's the snake path. See it? Could you imagine carrying Herod up that thing in his coach? This kind of a thing? Okay. Now go to some pictures of the fortified city of Masada. A fortified. Yeah. Yeah, he had it cut. His palace actually hung off the side. You hear about the hanging palace? It's up here. Okay. Yes. He was never. Yeah, this is a good. That's a great picture right there. And that is true. Yeah, he was never there. I would say nobody went there till after his death. If I can't go there, nobody can. Well, there's the Herodian fortress over close to Jordan, and then there's his city house, and when they were in Jerusalem, they had to be. But yeah, this was a very nice place. Here is what's left of the hanging palace. It hung off the side here. I have a picture in one of my book, in that book right there of it, I think. Here? Well, those are walls of rooms. Some of it there was another picture of a Roman bath where you actually could sit on this little column in hot salt water that stayed hot. I mean, they were very advanced. Yeah, you know it. And of course, I always like to tell the story that when you're up here, because see, this is just almost that far away from the Israel-Jordan border, because this is right off of the Dead Sea, and the border splits the Dead Sea right in half. And so you have Israeli fighter jets that we provided for them flying that border. And as they see people up here, like you see there's a group up there now, it would be more over on this other side of it, I think. But anyway, as the fighter jets would fly over, they would come into you just a little bit. I mean, they're out there, and they would tip a wing at you to thank you for coming and visiting Israel. Where do they live now?
Yeah, I mean, because they can't live here,
Mm-mm.
right? I mean, and all these digs that are going on, they can't live there. So are there like little counties that they live in?
Dave, give me a picture of city of Jerusalem. Both. She wants to know where people live now. Is it getting ready to go? If it's not ready to go, show me that picture right. That one. When you go to when you live in Israel. Yeah, we just appointed you, and here you are talking about moving to Israel. All this stuff is a hot water system under the floors. Yeah, I mean to heat everything.
It's natural springs, right?
Not up there, but there are. Yeah. See, these are thermal baths. Okay, now go to City of Jerusalem. Thank you very much. All right, let's fly to the City of Jerusalem from here. We'll go northwest. if we can keep it down to about $5,000 a couple, that's not bad. Last time it was over six. No, it's not bad at all. No, it's not. We stay in five-star hotels. We stay at Dan Panorama and King David Hotel in Jerusalem. We don't do the budget inn and
So how much would it be if you stayed much more?
you can't.
We could stay a whole nother week.
You wouldn't want to stay a whole nother week though. I mean, we stay in the places where there's a lot of security and the food's good. Oh, the food. Y'all don't get me started. What are we doing up there? Excuse me? Okay, you're good. Okay. Give me that picture first. That one right there. To answer your question, Jen, to answer your question, there is the new part of the city of Jerusalem. See, here's the old city right here, and this is that's King David's Citadel on the other side. So from there up is all new. And so the Knesset is one of these big buildings back in here. I don't remember which. It is a real city. Yeah, there's bus stations and the whole 9 yards. Show me. We'll come back to this in a second. Show me the city of Tel Aviv. I know what you're going to ask. Tel Aviv.
We're going next March or April, so we're planning on it.
You are, the two of you?
Yes, sir. We're going.
Good, thank you. That's it right there. There's the city of Tel Aviv. This is the Mediterranean Sea. This is all pictures of Tel Aviv. This one right here. This is on the shore of that's the Mediterranean Sea right there. That's Tel Aviv. Say that again. That is correct. Well, you fly in here because that's where the Ben Gurion Airport is. The only airport in Israel you fly into. You fly into Tel Aviv. You stay your first night at the Dan Panorama, which overlooks the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, well, I don't know about that one. Okay. All right, now go back. So here's what they say. Tel Aviv is the entertainment center of Israel. Haifa is the industrial center of Israel, which is up north. Jerusalem is the religious center of Israel.
Now, where's that mosaic looking thing you put up? If you can find it.
It's okay. All right, I'm getting done. I'm running out of steam, y'all. Go back to. I tell you what. While you're right here, go to Caesarea by the sea.
Start typing.
Let me give you my. Mm-mm.
Cecilia by the sea.
C-A-E. You hear me? C-A-E. S-A-R-E-A.
That's Megiddo over there. All right, right there's what I want. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This one, right, that one right there. That one you got your thumb on. That's it. Okay, this was the water um, palace for Herod. Started out that way, and Herod decided to make it a big government and an industry center. So he built these outside walls to make a harbor. It's an artificial harbor, and so that boats could come in here, and all this was covered up, and it all had to be excavated and dug up, dug out, and yeah, all that stuff. Um, I think they had to actually get this cleared out. If I remember. Yeah, I think there was stone inside the harbor part. Because you have to remember that as other civilizations conquer, defeat, they want to wipe out all examples of that. And so, for the most part, there are some exceptions, of course. For the most part, they wanted there to be no evidence that there was ever a city here until they built.
Why is that water so
Just depth, and having to dig it out. Probably they've probably put sand down in there. Who knows? But this is a whole excavation project, and just probably I think it's off to the left of the screen here are the great aqueducts that come from Mount Hermon, or from up north where they would attach to Mount Hermon. The Romans actually built artificial aqueducts to bring fresh water into this area. And so when you leave the airport and you drive up by bus, you come by here and then you see those great aqueducts for miles and miles and miles away.
Who defeated King Herod?
Who defeated King Herod? The answer is King Herod did. Well, Herod the Great was he was more of a governor. A king. The king for this time frame was always called Caesar. And so the Caesars ruled for however many hundreds of years. And then remember, the Roman government was the last big empire. After that was the Germans and the Turks and all that bunch. I'll bring my book in next week for that. Okay, any questions about anything we've covered so far tonight? As I say, I've kind of done it a little different than just a teaching style. I could have just taught all this stuff, but I thought you'd rather see pictures.